Two words in a hashtag creating a big movement this last year.
We, of course, are talking about the social media Me Too campaign, focusing on sexual violence and harassment. Women really all across the country using that hashtag to share their stories. You'll likely recall the Me Too movement taking off after sexual assault allegations against Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein. The movement reigniting in the light of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's testimony.
Now tonight we had WATE 6 on Your Side reporter Laura Halm speak with a survivor to hear how Me Too has, well, shaped East Tennessee 1 year later. As a warning, some of what you are about to see and hear is troubling, and because of that, it could be a trigger to those who've survived sexual violence.
We're just given so many reasons to stay silent.
In late September, Amy Broyles decided not to do that.
When I was a sophomore in college, I got on an elevator.
This daughter, wife, and mother found comfort among other women on social media, sharing experiences of sexual violence.
There was a man on the elevator, and he exposed himself. And I was just so shocked. I didn't even know what to do or how to respond, except, get off the elevator as soon as I could. And a few weeks later, he actually sexually assaulted me. And for a long time, I felt like it was my fault.
Broyles says at the heart of her courage is the Me Too movement.
Maybe finally someone will hear me. There's someone to listen. Someone's paying attention.
At the Sexual Assault Center of East Tennessee, advocates say since the start of this hashtag, more women have reached out.
When you look at last September, before the Me Too movement, versus this past September, we had a 75% increase in our crisis line calls.
There have been conversations online and in person, many saying both have been productive.
I still think we have a long way to go as far as, culturally and to support and believe survivors.
Over the last year, advocates say Me Too has made impactful changes.
I think it has really opened a lot of people's eyes, again, to the prevalence, to the impact that it has had on victims of sexual violence.
In East Tennessee, advocates say we're coming together, having tough conversations and working on prevention and support services.
I think we can definitely work on changing believing survivors and not questioning survivors.
The Sexual Assault Center saying it's about teaching consent, respect, and boundaries. For survivors like Broyles, there's a sense of peace in looking to the future.
I don't want us to go back to where women are silent. We need to keep talking about it. We need to keep sharing our stories.
Laura joining us now here in the studio. And Laura, really over the last year, we have shared so many stories of women who have survived sexual violence.
Yeah, did the Sexual Assault Center speak to how the Me Too movement has impacted men?
They did. In fact, they say we have to remember that men are survivors of sexual violence as well. Advocates tell me there's a lot of stigma placed on men who've been victimized, and with the Me Too movement, it's important that we recognize all survivors of sexual violence and that we support each other, guys.
Very important, Laura. Thank you so much. And also, we want to remind everyone there is help out there. The Sexual Assault Center of East Tennessee has a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis hotline. That number is 865-522-7273.
And from there, advocates will be able to point you to resources, counselors, and support no matter when the assault may have happened.